The light we can see, made up of the individual colors of the rainbow, represents only a small portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. Other types of light include radio waves, gamma rays, all of which are imperceptible to the human eye. Radio waves are much bigger than light in terms of their wavelength. Radio waves are bigger than the size of atoms in a wall. That is why they can go through, while light is a small wave and cannot get through the wall. In standard broadcast, radio, TV, remote-controlled toys, air traffic control. Radio waves from a cell phone can affect the metabolism of a person's brain. They are transmitted easily through air. They do not cause damage if absorbed by the human body. Antenna performance is strongly affected by the presence of the ground nearby. If something gets in the way, like a tree, a hill, a building, it can block the signal. Antennas come in all shapes and sizes, depending on the frequency the antenna is trying to receive. An antenna in a radio transmitter is to launch the radio waves into space. In a receiver, the idea is to pick up as much of the transmitter's power as possible and supply it to the tuner. The size of an optimum radio antenna is related to the frequency of the signal that the antenna is trying to transmit or receive. The reason for this relationship has to do with the speed of light and the distance electrons can travel as a result. Let's talk about the energy transfer of cell phone 1 to cell phone tower 1. It is magnetic energy. It is generated by electric currents. The magnetic energy is an energy form of moving electrons. For the cell phone to transfer information into the cell phone tower, it uses the strength of a magnetic field. To understand this concept a little better, let's go back to when we did the PhET electromagnetic lab. There was the pickup coil, a magnet, compass needle grid, and a coil attached to a light bulb. The most effective way of using the magnet and the coil to light the bulb was to move the magnet in and out of the coil and move the coil over and off the magnet. Another effective way in terms of lighting the bulb was the transverse external. This is when the wave vibrations are perpendicular to the direction of the wave's advance. Let's dive in deeper into the science behind this. Look, that text says delivered. That traveled about as fast as light does through a glass fiber and a similar speed when they are in electrical form on cables, about 2/3 speed. For that phone to understand and send that text, it goes through a binary code. Here is a reference. In this picture, the circle represents the cell phone. It uses a vector field that describes the magnetic influence on moving electric charges, electric currents, and magnetic materials. A moving charge in a magnetic field experiences a force perpendicular to its own velocity and its magnetic field. Then it moves to cell phone tower 1. A carrier wave is a waveform that is modified with an information-bearing signal for the purpose of conveying information. In this picture, the circle represents cell phone tower 1. This uses the electric field. It surrounds electrically charged particles and it exerts force on all other charged particles in the field, either attracting or repelling them. In this scenario, the antenna is the one acting this. Electricity flowing into the transmitter antenna makes electrons vibrate up and down, producing radio waves. The radio waves travel through the air at speed of light. When the waves arrive at the receiver antenna, they make electrons vibrate inside it. Then again, it uses magnetic energy to send it to the other cell phone tower so that messages could actually get delivered. Two main ways of transmitting information into our homes and cars radio is the amplitude modulation, which is AM, and frequency modulation, which is FM. Here is a picture of cell phone tower 2 and also a reference picture of everything in its place. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something.